happening. The warm-up 3 at the DLC, man, March 17th. We're fucking super excited about it, and nonetheless, man, we are rolling along here just fine. We've already spoke with Phoenix Child, Kyle Mayer, Easton Clark, D. Cohen, Val Conan, Hemis. Just got done speaking with Saurus and Jay Villain, and because these gentlemen are, both remote right now, we are very, very excited to have Saurus and Emerson Kennedy on the line. Gentlemen, thank you for taking some time out today.
For sure. Thank you for having me, man.
Of course. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. There we go.
We got a little bit nervous.
I know. My fucking heart just went, what the fuck just happened? Are there any questions before we get started? Any comments that we want to address before we get started? Pulse?
I mean, not on my end.
Not too many new ones.
Okay.
Just a couple shout outs.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I want to say that this has been a running comment in lead up to this battle, and even for myself as it was coming together, is that for at least for our league, this is the biggest battle, just the entire card in our league's history. So kudos to you two for being the spotlight and the headline for that. And I know, our city and the community really appreciates it. And Emerson, I know that you know that that's real out here for our city to really be behind something like this.
Yeah, man. It's hard not to get a little emotional about it when we've seen battle rap being conceived in Utah to what it's gone to right now. A lot of people don't get to see the fruits of their labor in a business they own by themselves. And in spite of a lot of things, this thing has continued to grow, and it feels like we're hitting the next chapter with bringing a legend to Utah, to battle. Yeah. So yeah, just really grateful to be a part of it.
Saurus, I wanted to talk to you, just get this question out of the way. I mean, although this is your first time in Utah, there's obviously no preconceived notion about you battling in foreign territory, as it were, whether it's domestic or international. What's your approach on that front, going into, coming into our, stepping into our league and stepping into a city that you haven't battled in the past? What's generally your approach with that?
I mean, first of all, thank you. I'm happy to be a part of it and to, have this moment that's going to be the biggest battle that you guys have had to this point. I'm always excited to go to a new city, new country, whatever the case may be. I'm no stranger to away games. It's all basically a home game for me. The way I wouldn't say I change or tailor my approach city to city or anything like that. I'm always pretty true to self when it comes to how I write and execute and perform. The key for me is always, especially when going to a new city, I always want to make sure that the audience there's going to be, especially in a place like this where so many people are seeing me battle for the first time. I know it's not your first time, and I know there are people in the crowd who have probably seen me battle live somewhere before,
right?
But there's some new viewers that are going to be there, and it's just my goal to really make sure that they want to see a repeat performance, not that they want it to be, not that they've seen one, now they've seen enough type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the standard I'm always trying to live up to is just really the one that I've set for myself more than anything. It's never I never take into mind catering material to certain areas or things like that. I write and prepare the way I do and have for this long. It's really just my goal to make sure that people want to see it again.
I love that. And you made mention at the end there, your process, and that you've stuck, to a tried and true approach to your writing style. There's a lot of folks in the rap battle community that are very much talking about just even your last 3 battles or so, about how you're on a pretty good fucking run right now. And
it's crazy.
Yeah. Do you in regards to approach, is there something you're doing different, or is it just like, is there this renewed fire within you? I guess I want to understand like where and if you did you fall out with the love of battle rap at one point? I mean, I know this kind of multi-layered, but I'd like to understand that.
There was a point like a few years back where I was feeling like probably just more overworked than anything. It was the first time where it was actually feeling more like excessive work than like something I am passionate about and love. And part of that is like my own fault. I was just booking myself left and right and taking battles on like back to back weeks and stuff like that, which there was like a time and a point where I had the energy and like the like go all to do that consistently. But now I think it's more about like being a little more selective, taking things in new places where people haven't yet had the chance to see me, especially just because like I'm 40 now, like the window is narrowing, you know what I'm saying? It's not like an infinite window. I want to touch ground in as many new places as I possibly can. And then like feeling a renewed love for it, especially over like I would say the last 2 or 3 years. And so just with like an uptick in quality out of a lot of people, and that like keeps me motivated to want to stay sharp and to want to sort of not get lost in the shuffle or forgotten in any sense or anything like that. I think it's really just about like giving myself the necessary time in between and taking battles that I actually like and that like excite me to put on for new places in front of like, different people than I've had to battle in the past.
That, speaking to, and I appreciate you sharing that, there's few things that obviously stand out. And one of them is the last piece where you just spoke about actually taking battles that get you, motivated and inspired rather than just like, oh, this, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but maybe I'll just get this bag type of shit and then, move on. I don't know if that was exactly it. I don't want to put it.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. That had a lot to do with why I was overworking myself a couple years back as well, because it's just like you put, you putting in that level of volume, it's gonna do okay. Like I could treat that as a full-time job for that, that particular like amount of time. It's really just about what's more worth it to me. Yeah. I still want to love what I do. Like it's nice to be able to make money from something that I love so much and I'm passionate about, and to be able to like have a steady income from it. But I like the money. I don't want a few grand at a time to override and burn out my like genuine love for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So if I can battle a few fewer times a year for the sake of like my own mental health and stress, because I put a lot of mental energy into everything that I write as well. Like, and I feel like I don't do myself any favors when it comes to like my writing and preparation process. I put a lot of unnecessary stress on myself for sure. So the fewer times a year that I can do that, but where I can still enjoy the process, is the goal these days.
I love it, man. I appreciate it a lot. EK, in that same vein, I mean, you're a multifaceted artist, and the way that you can compartmentalize to balance out your artistic goals and what you are, tapping into a gray area, and Last Second C as a production company, and the works that are coming out from that, all the way to battling Geechee last week, to I mean, you yourself are on this this run just in the same respect, and so coming off an incredible battle against Rum Nitty, guys, go look that up. Emerson Kennedy versus Rum Nitty. I would imagine that this battle here with the Saurus is, I mean, you're packing a lot in, as far as pause, but you're putting a lot of material and stacking it. What's that process been like for you? And just walk us through that.
Yeah, it's a lot. I deal with like. I plan my mental vacations and kind of go on like digital detoxes, and like in between that, the last half of the year, I'm probably gonna not be doing much. And so I knew the first part of this year, I scheduled a lot of things to try to go hard and just get it off my plate, just try to relax and reset. But yeah, it's more about like the closer I get to maybe not, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be battle rapping. And the thing I think about the most is like, damn, man, like I'm going to miss the competition. Like I'm going to probably go on to something else, and you'll always be able to like be competitive with other people out there. But battle rap is such a direct form of it. Just like two men in a cage, it's like no excuses, like one man just best another person. So I do a lot of other things, but the thing that keeps coming back and meaning the most is the competitive aspect of it. Like being a man nowadays is a little more complicated than it used to be, and
Damn.
being competitive or being raised on competition sports or competition anything, it really motivates you, and it really sets you like on a different path. And as I feel like battle rap's winding down for me, I start to appreciate these moments more and more where it's like you have an opportunity to just be in a cage with one other person, and you just have to fight and claw to prove you're better than that person, and it's probably toxic as fuck and it's probably immature as fuck. But I think a lot of great creations have come from that insecurity and that need to feel like you're better than someone else. And so instead of running from it, I just kind of balance it out with other projects, but leave the space mentally for battle rap to be like, hey man, like you might not have a chance to be this competitive going forward in the other things that you do. And so you really got to take advantage of it, man. When you get someone like the Saurus, who is like going to win. A lot of people come up to go take battles to say some crazy shit, like the Saurus is a type of battler that if you look at most of his battles, just like, oh, he was writing to win that battle, like,
Yeah.
sometimes like it came off a Rum battle. Rum's like just going to say the craziest shit you've ever heard of, and not necessarily trying to win and trying to beat you. He's just like, bro, I'm just going to do me. The source angles and the way he uses like clever approaches to it, like he wants to win battles, and so I appreciate that aspect of it because I'm more in the spot of like, I don't know how much more I'm going to get of this in my life. I watched like the Mike Tyson podcast, and you see someone like him is like almost like emotional about the fact that he doesn't get to compete like that anymore. And I don't want to be like a 70-year-old guy being like, yeah, the Source beat me 3-0 back in 2023. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely going to be telling like throwing a football over those mountain stories when I'm older. I just want to make sure that like I'm doing two things, like making like the 16-year-old version proud of myself, proud of me, and then also protecting the 70-year-old version of me that's like going to be proud of whatever I put out on these battles, So it's mainly just like compartmentalizing. The artistic stuff's cool, but just kind of cherishing the times when I can really compete, just trying to meet the moment.
Wow. I mean, obviously a lot to dissect there. I think that
I do have a quick
go ahead.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just for EK, and shout out to you guys, man. Respect, but kind of from the beginning, you're talking about nostalgia and stuff like that with Mike Masters, and we were having this conversation a couple days ago where what's cool to me about Mike Masters, at least from Utah, kind of like how EK was explaining how you could watch it grow. It's like the baby, and now like some of the MCs that I watch now, they're battling again, right? Or now they're like older, they got other things going on in their life. And this card's like pretty stacked, But for you, EK, just with like everything from you witnessing, like I guess the conception and just like, I don't know, being a part of Mike Masters for so long and coming back to helping like relaunch Mike Masters and stuff like that, with how big of a battle this is this like, does this mean more to you, or is it like, is it like a special battle? Like what does it feel like to you to get to do this, man? Because I think it's like just pretty crazy, even as a fan, man, to just kind of watch it all come back like full circle now that I'm like way older than I was when I was first watching Mike Masters. Like, what does it feel like to you? Like, was it special, or what's like your feelings?
Yeah, it's a great question. Like just a little background. I don't want to go on a diatribe, but like a little background. Like Nate started me battle rapping. Like he was the reason why I started battle rapping. Mike Masters was the first battle I ever had, and that's like the reason that set me on this course. Now it's like put food on my table. It's given me career and opportunities. So like Mike Masters is really near and dear to my heart. And just on another note, being a Utah battle rapper, and the Source could probably relate to this a little bit too, where it's like you're just like almost never at a home game. I've never. You're just never at. All of my battles is like Smack's not coming through Salt Lake. Like everywhere I've gone is like, Gnome is not going to be in Salt Lake City, Utah. Like hopefully one day we will. But like it just like everywhere I've gone, the difference between battling away and home is like whenever I'm battling away, my whole career is like you have to make people respect where you're from. But this battle is protecting where you're from, you know. That's the big difference. It's like it's a different tonality because I can't let the Saurus come to Salt Lake, and everybody that doesn't know Salt Lake will just be like, oh, he's gonna go in there and dog walk some Salt Lake City MC and go back home because like there's no talent out there. So it's a little bit more a different type of pressure. I don't know if it's more or less than when I'm battling other places, but it's like it means a lot to me to have someone come inside, like, you know, just like visit Utah. And if he gets me out of there, it makes me look bad in front of Utahns, you know, which is worse than like other people who don't know what Utah's about being like, nigga, you're from Utah? You know, I'm like, oh, I get that all the time. I look bad, you know, like I look bad to them. That's fine because they don't know anything about Utah, but I can't look bad in front of Utahns just because like that's what raised me. You know what I mean? So it's a definitely like super Under Armour, you must protect this house type shit, you know, and then it does without being like fake humble, but honestly, it feels like an honor to be like selected to be someone that is in a position to try to protect it against, you know, like a living legend. So I take it serious, man. I take it really serious.
Wow, that I think you nailed it. Jose, when you said that, when you mentioned that, like EK being a part of this, the rebirth, because EK and I had a conversation when he was doing a Gray Area episode, and I've made mention of this on my podcast. But when I mean, the very simple thing of just being like, yo, you bringing Mic Masters back? It was just so fucking quick. And I had already been thinking about it, and I was like, now I am. Like, it was like, okay, here we go. And EK, your involvement, you know, has been in our interaction back and forth. I just really appreciate the fact that you understand what we want to accomplish and the legacy we're trying to leave. So I just appreciate that. Thesaurus, with... Actually, did you have a question for
maybe for Thesaurus? Can
go
I ask
ahead.
a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, my bad. I'm fucking.
So Thesaurus, you know, you know, we're over here just you know, talking about all this nostalgia and you know what it means for us and having a little bit of a kumbaya moment. Are you coming here to destroy, to ruin our kumbaya moment? Or are you going to, you know, bring showers to our parade?
I mean, no. I think in the sense, like, I think EK nailed the point of how I write to try to win battles, yes. But that doesn't mean I'm trying to, like, rain on anybody's parade or the moment that is bigger than just the battle that's happening in the ring type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be a good thing for everybody because that's beneficial to everyone. You know what I'm saying? It's, like, yeah, I always write with the intent of winning, and I'm super competitive as well. Of course, that's like my competitive spirit is what's like kept me going for 20 years, and it's why outside of poker, I play another form of like a competition game for a living. You know what I'm saying? It's in my spirit to not like roll over and to want to win. But that doesn't mean that I'm trying to like ruin the day or anything. Like the ideal outcome, of course, is that we have just like a crazy classic that is talked about as such. You know what I'm saying? That's always the ideal outcome, especially in a situation like this.
Agreed. I mean, that's good. Just no other way to say it. Do we have any comments or?
Yeah, just a few for the sake of brevity. I'll keep it short. But EA 801, this is gonna bring the whole city out. This battle. Lib Life has asked about Immaculate, and then Jay Villain and Eli Ace have mentioned Immaculate is still rapping. He's just working on other things, different focus. Wrote poet, the Saurus versus Emerson, so legendary. He wants Emerson to win, but he feels the Saurus is going to win.
Oh, come on.
Oh, damn.
Traitor.
Yeah. Keto had asked about selling merch, so I just pointed the individual in the direction of MikeMasters801@gmail.com. If you guys have inquiries or requests, just send them there, please. Emerson Kennedy mentioned his hairline was so far back, so I just mentioned, hey, raise your eyebrows. It's going to shrink your forehead to face ratio. You'll be good. I got a big-ass forehead. I feel you, man.
Damn.
History's about to be made by Rope Poet. Spades was mentioning he looks old in the poster.
UEK is what he was referring to.
Okay, and then Eli A, shout out to Last Second C, love all that content. Cash mentioning being a man complicated, quoting EK. Especially the top line with Tara Mobley's with Eli Ace.
Nice.
And that's kind of it.
Okay.
This is our home game, is what EA 801 said. So
nice.
Emerson's got Salt Lake on his back.
Hell yeah. Well, anything do you guys want to say to that? The you two to some of those comments,
For me, it's just crazy. Just even you know, being here, to be honest, man.
Right.
So
just
I can't
yeah.
say too much. You know,
I
so.
think Emerson, with how you you know, we just spoke about how the Saurus goes into each battle like looking to win. I mean, I know that you're looking to you know, protect what we got or what have you. What I mean, are you looking to get him out of here type of shit? I mean, what's good, man?
We
What
wanna
the
hear some
fuck? Yeah,
threats.
what the fuck, dog? Like
You know, going into these battles, I have a lot of emphasis on my pen. You know, that there's some days where I wake up. I'm an artist, so everything ebbs and flows. And some days I'm like, I can't write a fucking thing to save my life. And then there's some days where I'm like, I might be the best writer in battle rap. You know, and it ebbs and flows between that all of the time. You know, so this is one of those battles where I was like, man, I'm feeling like I'm tapping into something recently that can prove I'm one of the best to ever write
whoa.
in battle rap. You know, I just wanted to showcase that. You know, and you know, like, you know, rapping ability will always, the preference in it will always like change over time, but it's the writing that I've tried to rest my, you know, like laurels on. So I'm just trying to get in there and prove that like my pen, hopefully when it's all done, will be like, you know, regarded as one of the best that ever battle rapped, you know.
Fucking go, bro. The Saurus, same question for you. I know we've kind of tapped into it, but I really want you to dig down into that. I mean, you're what the fuck you trying to do, dog? Like, let's go.
I mean, I think my answer is pretty similar, especially like being known for as long as I was as just kind of like a guy who pioneered a particular style or whatever the case may be. Over the last several years, I've taken more pride in like elevating the pen and proving like, yeah, I didn't like I am that. I am that guy, but I'm not just that guy.
Yo,
Like I think I especially over like my last handful of battles, all I've really been trying to do is elevate the writing as much as I can. I think I've tapped into some new shit over the last couple. And I'm just trying to like maintain that upward trajectory as much as I can, you know. It's like battling someone like EK is it's like better for me because that's gonna bring that type of stuff out of me. It was like when I battled Jay, when I battle people who I know can like take it to the level that I want to go to, it pushes me a lot further for sure. And I know like with the run that EK has been on, like Nitty, Geechee, I know Twerk was supposed to be a part of it a few months back and is still going to be a part of that run. I know there was a point where like Diz was supposed to be a part of that run, and like you look at all those names back to back to back to back
wow.
together, like that in itself is insane. That like that type of shit pushes me for sure because I know what he's capable of, and he like wants that lineup of matches for himself like to go out on. It's like, well, fuck, someone who is putting themselves in the lion's den that many times in a row to test themselves clearly is going into there like in full fight mode, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's you know, I'm just gonna keep trying to tap into what I've been doing lately, however it may be, you know.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. Okay, well, do you have any other questions right now?
Oh, or what about you, host? Any questions?
Or? No questions. I think this will be fun. Obviously, it's very anticipated. I look forward to watching the battle, hearing it. I'm sure I'll miss some bars, so when it releases again on YouTube, I obviously will be tapping in again to hear it. So I think this is going to be a really fun one too.
Host, I do have a question for you because we've talked about this off camera a couple times, but like being new to the battle rap scene, what's your perception about the energy behind this one in particular, this battle?
It's a level of respect that you can see both. Obviously, I'm assuming both have extensive battle history, so it's almost like that appreciation of any art form that you're in is, regardless if you want to take them down and maybe put your foot on their jug, whatever it is. There's still an aspect of respect because they know the amount of work that it took to get to where they're at. So if they're on, whatever power scale or leveling they're at, they respect each other, but it doesn't mean they're going to hold back, right? We're going to see them both go at it. It's going to be crazy metaphors, punchlines, things that will, like I said, go overhead. So it's going to be, when you see two, I'm going to say master. I mean, again, I'm new, so maybe I don't know, but it sounds like these two are obviously elite. And that people win. Regardless of who wins out of these two, it doesn't matter because the public wins. And I think that's always really cool that when you see like the two of the best to go at it. It's like in any sports, you always want to see two goats or whatever battle. So if you see two beasts go at it, the only thing, no one really loses.
Right. No, I agree with you. I appreciate that insight on that. Gentlemen, I certainly appreciate you guys taking some time for real. This is a beautiful experience, and I know that we're all looking forward to it. EK, if you could let everyone know your socials and you know what you have going on.
Yeah, just only follow two things. That's all I care about. Last Second C on YouTube. Last Second SEA. Last Second C is my production company, and Mike Masters 801. That's all I care about. You following. But one thing I did want to say before we get out of here is like I was like a kid that grew up in Fruit Heights, Utah, like right behind Cherry Hill, you know, like, and I was watching Smack URL DVDs, and I was like, damn, man, it's impossible for me from where I'm at to make it on there ever, you know. And now there was a lot of luck that played a factor, but I tried to work really hard to do it. So I get a lot of DMs from like other Utah people, but I try to stay off of socials quite a bit. So I apologize if I don't get back to people. But like the day, you know, a battle came out on URL that had me in it, and it was like Emerson Kennedy from Salt Lake City, Utah. I was like, holy fuck, man, this seems like a prank.
Wow.
You know, and the feeling I had, that is just something I would want people that are, if anyone is watching this, whether it's one people or 3,000, that like, if you're like that little kid in, I would say Utah, but any like small city, state that doesn't get that worldwide recognition of like LA and New York is, bro, it's only, you got to be stubborn about working hard, bro. You know, like this shit, like miracles really do happen every day type shit, you know? So if I don't get back to you on socials, know that like, hey, man, I'm trying to rep us in the best way I can. There's some beef in Utah sometimes that people are like, you don't claim Utah enough. I always try to let the work speak no matter what, you know, because I'm not really rah on socials, but I'm hoping I'm repping us the right way. And I'm hoping that I'm like leaving a little bit of inspiration that it really doesn't matter the area code, man. If it's just like work and talent and being stubborn about being better, hopefully you'll make like the Emerson Kennedy story seem ridiculous in a couple of years, you know? So that's just my following words. And Pete, I appreciate you, man.
Likewise, bro. I completely agree. Work hard. I came from a super small town as well. I know like my come up obviously is different just because it was like pre-YouTube when I initially started, but it was literally, I mean, I grew up in a town called Pacific Grove, like a high 4-figure population count, you know what I'm saying? Right next to Pebble Beach, California. So a huge just golf community, no hip hop scene or anything like that. So I had to seek it out in other areas. I had to drive myself to anywhere that had something resembling a scene with ciphers and battles, throw myself into as many of like the tournament format battles as I possibly could, and really just work until the work speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? So I could not agree more with what you said, bro. Endless respect, obviously. I'm looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be fun, man.
Yes, sir, brother.
It's going to be fun. Thesaurus, let folks know your socials. I mean, I'm sure everyone does, but just if you could.
Yeah, Thesaurus wins on basically everything. And then Thesaurus831 on Twitter. I just got my Twitter back after like the 5-year ban. Elon finally lifted the ban. We're back. We got a strong Twitter presence again, which is nice to have. You know what I'm saying? Had to sacrifice the verified check mark for the ban, but it was worth it for the greater good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm excited to come out. A homie of mine, Nate, hit me last night asking for your number about maybe coming out, and I'm hoping he hit you up about that too.
Hey, hold on a minute. Yeah, a homie of yours did hit me up, and a homie of yours and I are going to be speaking after the face-offs, and a homie of yours and I will be talking about how
very hard.
Yeah, so I appreciate you sending that information over, because your homie.
He hit me last night and was like, "Yo, man, I want to be there. What's good?" His number, dog.
Yeah. He hit me at like 3:30 in the morning. I was all the way the fuck out.
He hit me at 2:30 and he was like, "Fuck, it's mountain time, isn't it?"
Yeah, I was all the way the fuck out, and I woke up and I was like, "Damn, man!" The last time that your homie and I fucking talked was like 8-9 years ago. He was
right. I think it was probably when we met, right?
Yeah. Yeah. At the Kruger at Vendetta.
Yeah, bro.
I judged that battle, you and Kruger, and Mike Masters.
It's funny when you posted the pic of you and I from that event. I like immediately remembered who you were. It's so wild how that works.
That is crazy. Yeah. I haven't even spoke a lot about what my like further what my history has been with you, but I mean, I'm just excited for the community. I think I posted about that the other day. It's just like, I cannot believe that the city is going to be able to see, you know, someone that is so involved and deeply rooted in the battle rap community. And I hope to create these, I hope that we can continue to create these types of moments for our fans, because ultimately, I think we spoke about it, that they win. And that's what's most important. And EK, you touched on that
100%.
too. Yeah, I think you touched on that too. So, gentlemen, thank you guys so much.
Much love.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here next Friday. March 17th, we're going to fucking see it. We're just going to see you go down to Saurus versus Emerson Kennedy. And, yeah, we're going to go to a quick intermission, and then we're going to come back in with Steve Rogers. But thank you, gentlemen, seriously, so much. I'll hit you guys both offline.
Y'all take care.
See y'all soon.